Hello everyone and welcome back to another exciting episode of English with April and of course with Mr. Wombat, who by the way has a very special surprise for all of you. Mr. Wombat told me yesterday that he would like to dress up to match our beautiful backdrop, so he'd made for himself a beautiful gold necklace and he would like to know if you guys like it. Yes, okay. He told me to ask you, if you like his necklace, on the count of 3, raise your hand and say, I like it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. See, I told you they liked it. You don't have to worry. So Mr. Wombat is going to sit right here so we can get started with the lesson today. So in today's lesson, we're going to talk about something called photosynthesis. I know that's a very big word, but that's all right. I'm going to make it simple so we can understand. As we talked about in the first episode about the different parts of the plant, we're going to talk about them again today because the different parts of the plant is something that's important for photosynthesis. As you see here, we have the parts of a flower, but we'll talk about the parts of a plant in general. So as you can see, the top part of this picture is the flower part, or we can call them the petals, because we're talking about a flower in this case. The next part of the flower will be the stem. The stem. Growing out of the stem are things called leaves. Leaves are very important for photosynthesis as well. At the very bottom of the picture, you can see these special things that are growing under the ground in the soil are called roots. And roots are very, very, very important for plants as well. Now, photosynthesis is a very special process in where plants make their own food. Because of course, plants have to eat just like we do. So, the process of photosynthesis starts off when it rains. Because when it rains, the water flows down to the ground in the soil, where the roots of the plant absorb all the water and the mineral salts which are in the soil that they grow in. It goes up the roots, shoop, but this very special thing that the roots are sucking up, this is called, the fluid mixture is called raw sap. Raw sap, remember that word, raw sap. So the minerals and the water get absorbed up through the roots, up here, up through the stem, and throughout the plant with help from very special transport tissues called xylem. Those special transport tubes help get the raw sap throughout the plant. Then carbon dioxide is absorbed through tiny, tiny pores in the leaves. These special tiny pores are called stomata. Stomata is also a very important word. And right here in the leaves of the plant is where photosynthesis actually takes place. The leaf cells are made up of things called chloroplasts. Chloroplasts, that's a hard word to say. Chloroplasts contain a pigment called chlorophyll, and chlorophyll is what gives plants its beautiful green color that we see outside. Chloroplasts capture light energy, which is also important. Photosynthesis involves sunlight, raw sap, that's that word, and carbon dioxide. During the whole process, raw sap becomes something called elaborated sap. And this elaborated sap is transported throughout the plant, again, with things called phloem. These are they're living tissues called the phloem, and they help distribute the elaborated sap throughout the plant. And then through the leaves is where oxygen is released. And this is what we are able to breathe when we go outside. So thanks to plants, we're able to breathe beautiful fresh air. And that's why when we go outside, we should appreciate all the plants and flowers that help us breathe nice, clean, filtered air. I know I appreciate it because I like breathing. Do you like breathing? I hope we all do. I know Mr. Wombat does. When we are going for our walk, we are sure to thank all of the plants and flowers for giving us oxygen. Thank you, plants, for performing photosynthesis and giving us nice, clean, filtered air. Mr. Wombat said thank you to the plant as well. Well, that's all for us today. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Mr. Wombat says goodbye as well.